Picture this. You're sitting in your overseas house, successful career behind you, but something's pulling at your heart. That smell of fresh chai, the warmth of family gatherings, the familiar chaos that somehow feels like home. You're not alone in feeling this way. Indians have conquered the world, holding influential roles in leading companies and driving innovations in technology and finance. We are celebrated globally for our resilience and achievements. Today, India is the origin of the largest number of international migrants worldwide, with around 1.8 crore Indians living abroad, according to the 2024 UN Migration Report. For decades, this was called brain drain. But here's what's fascinating. The tide is turning. A recent survey by a fintech platform found that 60% of NRIs in major diaspora hubs like the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and Singapore are seriously considering retiring in India. This isn't just nostalgia talking. It's brain circulation, driven by emotional ties, cost benefits, and India's remarkable transformation. But here's the million-rupee question. Should you actually make that move? Before we dive deeper, I have exciting news for you. We're hosting an exclusive, completely free webinar on NRI financial planning and taxation. This invite-only session features one of the best NRI tax experts who will address your specific queries. Fill out the Google form below with your questions. We'll tackle them all in the webinar. More details about the webinar are coming in our upcoming videos. Now, let's solve the retirement puzzle together. You're probably wrestling with thoughts like, what if I move and regret it? Or how much do I actually need to save? Maybe you're wondering about the perfect age to return, where to settle, or whether your money will last. These are exactly the questions we are going to answer today. The first thing you need to understand, and this is where most people get completely wrong, is that your residency status determines everything about your financial future in India. Under Indian tax law, you become a resident if you spend 182 days or more in the country during a financial year. Alternatively, if you spend 60 days in the current year, plus 365 days in the previous 4 years, you'll also be considered a resident. But here's a crucial catch for high earners that many people miss. If your Indian income exceeds 15 lakh rupees, you need to limit your stay to 120 days or fewer to retain NRI status. Otherwise, you'll be liable for tax on your global income. This can be a shock to many successful NRIs who aren't prepared for this rule. The good news is there's a smart transitional option. There's a category called resident, but not ordinarily resident, or RNOR, that provides partial relief for up to 3 years, keeping your foreign income largely tax-free. My suggestion? Document every single travel date and consult a tax advisor before you cross any of these thresholds. Now that you understand the tax implications, let's talk about the money side of things. Here's the golden rule that financial planners worldwide swear by. Aim for a corpus that covers 70% to 80% of your pre-retirement income, adjusted for inflation. The famous 4% withdrawal rule suggests that drawing 4% annually from a wisely invested portfolio should cover your expenses indefinitely. But before you even think about packing your bags, there are some crucial financial housekeeping tasks you need to handle. Clear all your overseas mortgages, loans, and credit cards. Decide what you're going to do with your foreign retirement accounts like your 401ks or ISAs. In some cases, you may leave them abroad, but withdrawals may be taxed differently once you become a resident. Build an emergency fund covering at least 6 months of expenses. And here's something critical. Consider currency risk. If your expenses will be in rupees, but you hold assets in dollars or pounds, exchange rate movements can seriously affect your purchasing power. This brings us to a banking maze that confuses many NRIs. You'll need to understand 3 types of accounts available to you. NRE accounts are rupee denominated. fully repatriable, and pay tax-free interest while you remain an NRI. NRO accounts are for rupee income like rent or pension, but interest is taxable and remittances abroad are capped. Then there are FCNR deposits in foreign currency, which protect you against exchange rate risk. Here's a smart strategy many successful NRIs use. Fixed deposits in NRE and FCNR accounts often pay 6 to 7% and are tax-free while you remain an NRI. For beating inflation, which can be a silent wealth destroyer, consider RBI floating rate bonds and sovereign gold bonds. Once you become a resident Indian, exciting new investment doors open up that weren't available to you as an NRI. You can finally open a new PPF account, which is incredibly popular for long-term tax-saving investments with deductions up to 1.5 lakh rupees under Section 80C. The national pension system becomes available too, offering an additional 50,000 rupees deduction under Section 80CCD 1B. For those willing to take some market risk, equity-linked savings schemes or ELSS offer market-linked returns with just a 3-year lock-in period, much shorter than other tax-saving options. And here's something that might surprise you. Diversified equity funds in India have delivered around 10% to 12% annualized return over long horizons, helping your corpus outpace inflation significantly. Real estate remains a favorite among returning NRIs, and for good reason. You can buy residential or commercial property without special approval, although farmland is off limits. The economics vary dramatically based on location, which brings me to one of your most important decisions. Where you choose to live will completely shape your retirement experience. A comfortable 2-bedroom apartment tells a very different financial story depending on your choice. In smaller cities like Mysuru, Coimbatore or Kochi, you're looking at 40 lakhs to 60 lakh rupees. But in major metros like Bengaluru or Pune, the same apartment could cost anywhere from 70 lakh rupees to 1.2 crore rupees. Before you decide, carefully weigh factors like climate, air quality, healthcare access, and proximity to family. Here's a tip from many successful returnees. Rent first to test drive a city before committing to a purchase. If you're keeping a home abroad, remember that owning property in 2 countries comes with double maintenance, tax, and insurance obligations. Speaking of healthcare, this is where India's transformation becomes truly remarkable. The country now has over 40 hospitals with Joint Commission International accreditation, meeting the same global standards as top American hospitals. Institutions like Apollo, Fortis, and Medanta offer world-class services. But here's the kicker, at a fraction of Western costs. The economics are simply stunning. Medical insurance premiums cost much less than what you are paying overseas. Common procedures like knee replacement or cataract surgery cost a fraction of overseas prices, and waiting times are significantly shorter. Add to this the growth of telemedicine services and pharmacy delivery, and you have accessible, high-quality healthcare right at your doorstep. There's another advantage that many NRIs don't fully appreciate until they return: the availability of affordable domestic help. Being able to hire cooks, house helps, or even train nurses at reasonable rates makes daily life significantly easier, especially as you age. Managed care communities are also growing, combining accommodation with on-site medical staff and recreational activities. Modern India offers a standard of living that's truly comparable to many Western countries. Door-to-door delivery apps like Swiggy, Zomato, Big Basket, and Blinkit bring groceries, medicines, and restaurant meals right to your doorstep. Amazon, Flipkart, and specialty retailers stock imported foods, electronics, and fashion. High-speed internet and 5G networks enable seamless video calls with relatives abroad, while UPI makes cashless payments completely effortless. You'll find amenities that were once limited to the West: artisanal coffee shops, organic food markets, spa services, golf courses, luxury car dealerships, multiplex cinemas, and world-class hotels. Domestic air travel is affordable, and improved roads connect you to hill stations, beaches, and heritage sites whenever you want a change of scenery. Many returning NRIs discover new purpose through volunteering, teaching, or mentoring, which gives them a sense of fulfillment they didn't expect. Cultural activities like music, dance, yoga, and meditation are widely available, connecting you back to your roots in meaningful ways. India's climate diversity means you can literally choose your weather. Prefer cooler temperatures? Consider hill stations like Dehradun or Ooty. Love the coast? Cities like Kochi or Goa offer beautiful seaside living. Want the energy of a bustling metro? Bengaluru offers the perfect blend of cosmopolitan living and pleasant weather. So here's the bottom line. Returning to India no longer means sacrificing the lifestyle you've grown accustomed to overseas. Instead, it means accessing world-class healthcare, dynamic investment opportunities, and a comfortable lifestyle at global standards, often at significantly lower costs than what you are currently paying abroad. Your action plan is straightforward, but requires careful execution. First, clarify your emotional and financial reasons for returning. This clarity will guide all your other decisions. Build a corpus that genuinely supports your goals, not just what someone else thinks you need. Resolve all your overseas liabilities and make informed decisions about your asset allocation between countries. Get professional advice on residency and taxation early. This isn't an area where you want to learn from expensive mistakes. Research your housing and healthcare options well before you make the move. And remember that today's India offers you the best of both worlds. The comfort and quality you expect, combined with cultural richness and family connections you've been missing. Your retirement in India can be both financially secure and deeply fulfilling. The only question left is, when will you start planning your homecoming? At NRI Shaala, we understand the unique challenges facing global Indians. We are publishing new videos daily, curated specifically for our community. So subscribe and share with fellow NRIs who are navigating this exciting journey home.